Breaking news, James Harden shipped away from Houston. Now will be joining the Brooklyn Nets. This reported by Adrian Wojnarowski and Ramona Shelburne.
Welcome to another episode of I Call Next. So we've got Gogia and JK, and we're pushing out the emergency podcast. So based on about an hour ago, blockbuster trade that went down, James Harden finally being traded to the Nets.
Yeah, dude. I mean, I always knew Harden was getting traded, and after last night's comments, we knew it was going to happen soon. Like him just saying "fuck this place," it was bound to happen. I just didn't think it happened that fast and that many picks.
Yeah, so basically,
yeah, I think that's the big thing about it, right? Like it happened that quickly, and on top of that, like the fact that they were able to get so many picks out of it. When you see like a guy that's being like that cancerous towards a franchise.
Right.
Yeah.
So basically, it's crazy. Last night, he said, he's like, I love the city. Literally, have done everything that I can, and something that can't be fixed. So that this started last night. They kept it hush hush under wraps because once I go through a details of trade here in a minute, there's no way they just came up with this out of thin air in like an hour.
This has been brewing probably for a while, and then they were like, after yesterday, they called the Knicks and like, all right, let's do it. Because they've been probably fielding this call. You know what it really is? You know what? Harden is sick of all the strip clubs in Houston. That's what it is. And he wants to see some new strip clubs. That's what it is. And he's like, yo, let's go to Brooklyn and see them. Let's see them.
Sure. I'm sure Kyrie will probably be like, we'll go there instead, take him to a birthday party.
Right? And no one's wearing a mask.
All right. So let's get into the trade, and then we talk strategy and what we think about it afterwards. So overall, as you guys were mentioning in the end, ended up being 4 teams, 7 players, 6 draft picks, and 4 pick swaps in the blockbuster trade that just went down, which is fucking nuts. So let's kick it off. Brooklyn got James Harden. That's where he wanted to go. That's what they wanted. It worked out well for them. What ended up happening was the Houston Rockets ended up getting Victor Oladipo, Dante Exum, and Rodions Kurucs. So then on top of that, they got the 4 first-round picks. They got 3 from the Nets, 2022, 2024, 2026. And they got 1 from the Bucks via Cleveland, which is 2022. And they got 4 first-round pick swaps from the Nets in 21, 23, 25, and 27, basically all those alternate years. Pacers did a last-minute trade. They jumped in. So they sent Oladipo, and in return are getting Karis LeVert, and they're getting a second-round pick from Houston. And then the Cavs ended up getting Jared Allen and Taurean Prince. So they snuck in at the end too. So you got those 2 teams that walked in.
The Cavs gave up a pick, right? Do you know if any of these are protected or unprotected or what?
All unprotected picks.
Oh, okay. That's interesting. Yeah. I mean, you have to assume the Nets are going to be good for the next 4 years, right? So these are going to be late picks, right? You have to assume.
Same thing with the Milwaukee pick. The Milwaukee's going to be good. They're not going to be a lottery pick.
Agreed.
Basically, the way I see it is if the Nets don't tank and lose basically the big 3, all these picks are jack shit to Houston.
Yeah. Yep.
Houston's going to end up being worse than the Nets. So the trade for those picks, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah. No, I mean, that's all you can get, right? Like that's the thing is like, I imagine that Harden had a no trade clause that he had to approve the trade because that's why he's in the Nets, right? So that means that like anywhere he wanted to go, you had to take whatever they would give you at that point, right? The Houston was fucked in that situation, right? Like that's just what it is. I mean, I think Houston in the sense of they're not going to be really good, but they're not going to be like the worst team either. I mean, Oladipo, Wall, and Cousins is playing well. Christian Wood is playing decent. Like, I mean, you're at best an 8 seed, but like, yeah, I mean, you're not like the worst team either.
Oladipo after the season's off the books, right? So there's the cap space. So you don't know if he's
So what Houston does have going for it, right? And why players want to play in Texas is there's no income tax, right? And it's also a huge market in Houston. They can sign somebody. They're not Washington. It's not like a dead place where no one wants to come, right? I mean, open up cap space and try to make a move, I guess, right? That's what you have to think.
This really sucks for John Wall.
I feel for the man. I really do because he's playing well. Like, he's playing well. DeMarcus Cousins playing well. They're just not winning games.
Yeah, so you saw them come out and basically was like, dude, like, if you're not on board, you're not in the system. It's like it's never gonna work. Basically, just call it out hard.
He's not wrong though. Like that's like the most mature thing he's ever said in his life. I think look, we know that Brooklyn is an A for them, right? This is an A, right? Like I think that's where we're all at because like you are now pretty much penciled into the finals as long as you don't fuck this up, right? I mean, we know Harden.
I wouldn't say that.
Who's better? Who's better in the East?
No, on paper, no one's better. On paper,
that's what I'm saying. Penciled in, you should theoretically be the best team now, right? You should talent-wise be the best team.
They're basically got the hype and what we thought of the Clippers from last season, right? Like we assumed they were.
I think they're better. They're better because Harden and KD are better than Kawhi and PG, in my opinion.
The real issue here is how many games during the season where you're going to get all three of them playing together. They should ideally be all of them. They're good, but we have the Kyrie saga going on right now.
Yeah. I mean, I think the issue with the entire thing is Kyrie. How does he feel about this entire thing? Because like he's going to be like, huh? There's only one ball. And I'm not worried about KD though. I'm not worried about KD and I'm not really worried about Harden. They've played together. They know each other. I feel like Kyrie is going to be that problem. He's like, I'm still the best. What are you guys talking about? 0 MVPs. I'm still the best.
Well, personally, I think they should try and figure out a way to get rid of Kyrie. Like,
I would have traded Kyrie. And kept LeVert and Allen because that would have given you a great bench. Great bench. That's what you need in the playoffs, in my opinion. I totally think that would have been the right move. But I feel like what are you going to do with Kyrie? And then you got to move John Wall too. And there's no way the cap would work out, right?
Yeah.
So,
but like, I mean, you don't necessarily need to send Kyrie to Houston. I'm just saying, if I was the Nets, I would move Kyrie right now.
Back to the Cavs.
Huh?
Back to the Cavs, the wasteland.
That works. Because like, if you realistically think about it, it's like Harden's best year in Houston was when he was playing point.
Yes, agreed.
Right?
Agreed.
He was playing point. He was killing it as a point guard. And if you can get that in Brooklyn, right? Have him and Durant, what more could you want? Move Kyrie for a good, like good presence down low, and boom, like you got your team that's going to get you to a championship.
Yeah. Okay. I just realized something. If they don't win if this combination of players doesn't win a championship, right? Think about it. It's Harden who could never get out of the second round, right? It's KD who joined a 73-win team. It's Kyrie who said, "Oh, LeBron doesn't matter," right? It's like a batch of guys that need to win a championship for their. KD is at the least, but the other two need to win championships on their own
for their
legacies. For their legacies, right? Like this is very interesting. I just thought of.
But it's no. I mean, it's not an easy feat. They should
agreed.
Out of the East, but. The West got some good teams still.
I'm building a storyline. I really just am building a storyline. I know that, but it is something that did come together. These are three guys that never could win. Like no one considered them to win on their own. So now let's see what happens, right?
Well, I mean, like let's compare big threes, right? That you have the Nets big three. Who has a big three in the West? I only see teams with big twos.
Nobody got a big three.
Yeah. You got the Clippers with the big two, and you have the Lakers with the big two. The Lakers' big two are better than the Clippers' big two.
Yes.
And then the Warriors only got one player, right?
The Warriors aren't in a
Portland only has like one real player. I mean, they got two.
No,
but like
DJ has been playing really well, man.
Well, I mean, he is, but like, do you put him on the same level as all these other players?
Kyrie,
realistically, do you? Realistically, do you?
No, but I want to. If Arash was here, I would.
But right now we have a 3-team monster on who's going to win this championship.
Yeah,
and I'm still skeptical about the Nets. I don't think that this big three will be able to work together.
Okay, so that's what I was going to pose. The pose question: Are they?
That's where.
Yeah. Are they going to the finals? What do you guys think? Are they going to the finals?
No.
Eastern Conference
maybe next
Championship.
year.
Eastern Conference Championship this year.
Yeah.
Okay. What'd you think?
Assuming there's no injuries or any COVID or any of that shit that goes down, obviously a long way to go.
Yeah.
If they got all three playing and for the full series, I think they make it to the finals, the Eastern Finals. They're just stacked. Like Durant, any of them can pick up whenever and just go hot. Like How are you going to stop that?
This is my pick for the finals before Harden. This is still my pick barring injury. And honestly, if they trade Kyrie for more like depth, I think they're even better. So, I mean,
yeah, the Nets are sitting at 500, right? They're 6-6. And that's in the last 4 games, Kyrie hasn't even played.
Yeah. Yeah. And now you're going to have Harden and
him back. Yeah.
Dude, Harden and KD, I very much do believe in. That Kyrie factor, it does worry me, but I mean, it doesn't hurt.
Why do you believe in Harden all of a sudden? Before you like hated him, you didn't want him on any team. No team likes Harden.
No. I think Harden will work with KD. I think that's the right matchup.
It's been a while since they played together.
I know, but
it doesn't matter, right? He wanted to get out. He wanted to be there. He's where he wants to be. He's got to figure out how to make it work. At that point, like, where the fuck are you going to go in the NBA if you can't go where you want to go and play?
Harden has been lead dog for how long now, right? Like, since he left the Thunder. Been the lead dog. Like, didn't matter if CP3 was there. Didn't matter who else was there. It was Harden's team, right? Didn't matter when Westbrook was there. Didn't matter when CP3. Harden is the guy. Now, he is arguably the second best player. No, not even arguably. He is the second best player on his team, right?
Yeah.
And your third guy probably thinks he's the best guy on the team.
So this is where it comes down to ego. If you want to have an ego, you're never going to win and be on a goddamn team and be that best guy. Or swallow your damn pride, work as a team, and get the damn ship that you don't have.
I would say the only guy on that team that doesn't have an ego is KD.
And he's got the ship too. So who gives a fuck?
I think that the reason why I think this is a good team, to your question, right, is because I think Harden has caused all this controversy over the course of the year. I think he's going to come in and just play basketball, and his goal is to get. I think the level of losing in the second round does eat at you, and now he can do all that stupid shit on offense because he's going to be open way more, right? No one is going to take the pressure off like KD. Nobody he's played with will ever do that. So imagine that. Imagine playing with arguably one of the best scorers of all time with one of the best scorers of all time. You can't double both of them, you know? If Kyrie could just like not have an ego in this, he can easily have one of the best years of all time. But I don't know.
But you're talking about the guy that thinks the world is flat.
I mean, listen. I said if he could. I don't think he can. But I think that this team is. It's like I said. The storyline I would say is 73 team. KD goes to 73 win team. Harden wins all these MVPs but can't get out the second round. Kyrie thinks the world is flat and doesn't want to wear a mask. I mean, all these storylines is what will make them either come together or implode.
It's as simple as this. All right. All these guys have done all these things. They have all this shit, all this drama, whatever. And they're at the stage of their career where they just want to win now.
Yep.
Kyrie at first, thought he could do it himself. Then he came back, apologized to LeBron, assumed that, everyone needs another, partner basically to win. Harden didn't like where he was. He just was fed up. He went through good teammates. He still couldn't get anything done. And then now they're all together in a place that they truly want to be. They're not all like, we want to get out of here. We want to do this. Kyrie's antics this season are just stupid. It's not like he doesn't want to be there. It's just him being dumb versus like before when he was disgruntled, right? So at this point, it's like, dude, you're in the best scenario possible with the 2 other best people. You got 2 former MVPs.
Yeah.
Just play the game, dude. You should just be out there having fun. Like, you shouldn't even have to worry about it.
Exactly. Okay, let's say – go ahead.
I'll just say you're basically set up to succeed. It's just whether you can work together or not.
Agreed. Exactly. That's what it is. It is the cards are in your hands. It's up to you to make it work now. Are we all on the page that we think the Lakers are coming from the West as of right now? Is that what we're thinking?
Yeah, I mean, they're still dominating. They're 9-3, and they've got a deeper bench than what they had last season. So yeah,
it's going to be Lakers Nets with the Lakers winning it all.
But you said the Nets aren't going, but that's fine. That was
out of the most favorable teams from each side.
For the sake of argument, it was what I was going to say.
Yeah.
It's fine that you're here at this conversation saying that because this is what I wanted. So we're good. What does the series look like in the finals right now? If everything, no one gets hurt or anything.
4-2.
4-2. Okay. Pete.
4-3 game 7 Lakers take it.
I'm gonna go 4-4. I'm so stupid. 4-3 Nets take it in 7. And you know what's gonna be wild? Can I just say I just thought of this when I saw this trade? It's gonna be wild when the Nets have more championships banners than the Knicks. I can see everyone right now jumping into the river and swimming to Brooklyn right now. Like,
You know what's wild to me?
What's up?
You know who got hired as a assistant coach in Brooklyn this year, right?
Who?
Mike D'Antoni.
Oh yeah, that's funny.
Reunited with Harden, bro.
Yeah, that's hilarious. Him and Steve Nash. It's a fun time, but I think that they're gonna be definitely fun to watch. They're definitely gonna be fun to watch. Okay, can we just wrap up with the other two? What do you think what happens with Houston now? What A, B, C, I'm gonna give them a B because in the situation they're in, this is the best you could get, to be honest. This is honestly the best that you can get.
Yeah, I mean, give them like a B minus, but
yeah,
they got. I mean, I guess they made the late trade for Oladipo, right? So they got him. They got the picks. They got Dante Exum.
To be honest,
one of the picks works out. We'll see, but
to be honest, our tone makes it sound like a C. It's a very average thing for them.
Yeah,
that's really what it is.
I'll be blunt.
It has the potential if all the stars align to be really good, but I don't see that happening because literally the Nets would have to fall off the face of the earth and something would have to happen with one of the big three, basically. Beyond that, they're not gonna be so low, they're not gonna be lower than Houston.
Yeah. Let me be blunt about it. I would give it a C minus, but I think anytime you lose a superstar like Harden, you're never gonna get a B. You're never gonna get an A. Right?
At this point, they're trying to salvage, right? They're just
exactly. It's a salvageable trade. The guys you got, like Oladipo, yeah, he's a good player. He's not a great player, and by great player, I mean like superstar level player. He's not. That's just not him right now, right? There's only a select few that are superstars. You lost one.
Oh,
what?
I was just gonna say. This is very out of left field. But Houston also, remember when they traded for John Wall? The pick would become unprotected in 2026 as well. So technically, you're thinking they got 3 picks in 2026. What if that's the year LeBron's kid comes out, LeBron Jr. comes out, and they get that pick? Oh my God!
And LeBron goes there.
And LeBron goes there at like 86 years old.
Then I'll tell you that you're a little delusional. Let's wait 4 years.
Sorry, I remember I was trying to think who their GM, because David Morley or whatever is gone, right? So I was like, who is their GM now? And is he smart? Can they make the right picks? But sorry, go ahead, JK. My bad. I just thought of that.
I mean, what I was saying is like, okay, like we all know that the Nets are going to be good for the next few years, right? Regardless. To me, obviously, yeah, you can find talent in the late first round, but the opportunities are not there, like with getting like players like the next LeBron, the next Kyrie, the next Zion. Those players are never going to be available at the end. The next Harden, or the guys that you expect to kind of come in and start and become those guys right now. Mm-hmm. And you're not getting that lottery pick. You're not even getting an opportunity to get in the top 5 or 6 or whatever. And that's why for me, it's like you have to get graded a C minus. Yeah, you're right. They salvaged it. But what I would do is I would try to move on from those Nets picks. Like I would try and trade those out and try and get with a team that could possibly be shitty in the next few years and just kind of swap them down the road.
So they have a 2026 pick, right? That was one of them.
Yeah.
By then, Kyrie and KD have been gone. Could have been gone for 3 years. They're both their contracts end in 2023.
Contracts are aligned direct. Almost all 3 of them, or both of them.
Yeah. So those picks, if let's just say like this experiment doesn't work, and they all disperse for any reason, which is possible, right?
I mean, it's very possible with Kyrie.
Yeah. So and if it doesn't work out, I mean, and they might have 2 good picks.
I totally.
It's so many what ifs for them.
So listen, I totally get what you're saying, and I agree that this is what's happened in the past. But solely being where they're at right now in their careers and where they're at, where are you going to go? Honestly, where Kyrie's moved around, James Harden's moved around, KD left the Warrior. Where are you honestly going to go and play now? Like, who do you possibly want to team up with?
Do you want my hot take?
If you say the Wizards, I'm just going to slap you virtually.
Let me go lock my door really quick. No, KD makes a homecoming back to DC.
I knew you were going to say that, and he's not coming.
Hold on, listen. This is a KD shirt. This is a DC right here. DC flag. I'm just saying it's all possible. And we get the first pick, and we get LeBron James' son the year before because it's a protected. Oh my God. Oh my God. It's happening, guys. It's happening. We're gonna win.
If these guys can't figure it out here and they leave, none of them will win another championship.
That's
again.
fair. That's fair. Sorry, I really am hoping Washington does something. All right, can we
Unless
just end it
they
up?
team up with LeBron and the Lakers.
What?
Unless they leave and then go join LeBron and the Lakers.
Yeah, I mean, but at that point, I won't give it to them. They won because of someone else. I will say,
for their legacy wise, they need to make this work.
Yeah, I will say though, I do like the Pacers. Pacers will probably make some noise in the playoffs. So they got Karis LeVert, which worked out for him, right? Because he was the guy for the Nets last season. Then obviously Kyrie and Durant came in, so he hit the bench. But
LeVert played well, man. Like when Kyrie wasn't playing, he was playing well.
So he's gonna be able to make impact on basically a playoff team. So you've got Brogdon, you've got Sabonis, you got TJ Warren, Miles Turner. So they got a good.
That's a sneaky good team. It's not like a championship team, but that's a solid playoff team.
That's the problem. It's not a championship team.
Yeah, but
they are a playoff team, no doubt.
Yeah,
but you're nothing more than like the Wizards with Gilbert.
Yeah, but listen, this makes them competitive for like the next 3-4 years, right? They're obviously not right now. Not every team can be championship.
It's hard for a place like Indiana to get free agents, right? So it's like you have to make these moves and get incrementally better, right? That's all you can do.
So I think this sets them up for like the next 3-4 seasons. Like this is gonna be good for them.
The problem with those teams is you just have to somehow find some gold. Like Indiana has to find their next Reggie Miller.
Yep.
Right. Like that's the only way that they have a chance ever to win.
What you have to hope for, what every team in that realm has to hope for, is to find the Giannis. What I would also argue is like a Michael Porter Jr., like that Kawhi in the middle of the first round that you groom and then you have to hope he stays. You know what I mean? Giannis said he's gonna stay. He loves Milwaukee.
Yeah, and that guy that turns into a superstar, but you turn him into a superstar and he stays and pays his homage and stays on the team.
Exactly. So, I mean, that's what you have to hope for. Even like a Bam or somebody that like creates either big defense or big offense, right? But, I mean, I think that they did the right move. They made the right move. They didn't need to keep, what's his name? Oladipo, yeah, because it was obviously not working. So, I think they're at least like 10 games better at this point, I think. 5 to 10 games better. Okay, the Cavs, who did they end up? They got Garrett Allen, right? Jarrett Allen, my bad.
Jarrett Allen and Taurean Prince.
Taurean Prince is okay. I mean, he's a bench role player. Garrett Allen's nice. I just don't know why you need him when you have what's his face. They have Drummond, right? Is Drummond gone?
I know they traded for him, but I think he's still there. Like.
Yes. Okay, sorry. He's always been rumored to be traded, so we might see him move.
It's always rumored, and you don't really hear about him anymore.
Yeah.
So you're like, maybe he's there.
Yeah, I mean, Garrett Allen's good. I just don't know why. I don't know what you're gonna do. I mean, it's a great rotation. Is Kevin Love playing this year? If he's not playing, then I get it.
Yeah.
I mean, the Cleveland is a pot of death in the NBA right now. It's like the Browns from back in the day.
LeBron got them their ship, and now they're good for the next 50, 60 years.
That's fair. All right. Well, I mean, this was exciting. I hope more trades come out of this now. I hope this pushes people to make some trades because I always like these trades.
This isn't like fantasy football where you see a blockbuster and then everyone wants to jump on and make trades.
That's fair. That is fair.
I think the only reason why this happened was because of Harden's comments.
Yep. I think so, too. I think that's all it is that Harden's comments.
It definitely was, but you knew with James Harden, the weight that he carries, no pun intended, that it would be 1v1 trade. You know, you're gonna have to have multiple teams involved in that trade to pull it off. So
Yeah, agreed. I was wishing Harden would go somewhere else where it would be still like twos, but it's fine, whatever. I think Kyrie is still like he's a 3 now. Kyrie's
hey, this will make it fun to watch.
Yeah, I mean, I could have used them getting Harden a few days ago with my parlay. So even though the Steelers fucked that, so whatever. Anyways, whatever. I'm pissed.
All right, I'm calling it right now.
Yes, call it.
No championship for the Nets.
Ever? Or this season?
This season or next season.
Ooh, hot take alert. I wonder what Arash thinks. I feel like he's gonna be like Kyrie now is the best point guard of all time. He's better than Stockton. He's better than like Magic. He's better than them all. That was Arash's take. Just letting y'all know.
Arash would probably tell us that we're crazy and that Houston are the clear-cut winners, just like how the Wizards were the clear-cut winners with the Westbrook trade, which didn't work out.
Dude, yeah. Honestly, I will say at this point, I will take Kyrie. I will trade Russell Westbrook. If they want to make OKC 2.0, I will trade Russell Westbrook right now for Kyrie.
I don't think
they want to do that. That's fair.
I don't think KD wants that. I don't think like anyone wants that.
I don't think Harden wants that after last season. Yo, I just want tradesy backsies for John Wall right now. Tradesy backsies. Come on. I'm calling it in. I'm a fourth grade. I'm calling it in. Tradesy backsies. Come on.
Well, this will be fun. I guess we'll see here. Probably not in a week, probably 2 weeks, how they pan out, because James Harden could play as early as the Saturday, but with Kyrie's antics and protocol, I think he might be out for 2 weeks. So we may not see them all three play together for about another week and a half to 2 weeks.
Gonna be tuning in for that, unless it's on like Super Bowl Sunday, and then fuck it, don't care.
We will come back and cover what we think. We'll see if opinions changed and how the rest of the trades shake up.
Oh, let's go.
Remember, and you're here first on I Call Next.